Thank you all for coming. My office has charged 57-year-old Anthony Challis of Fenton with 2 counts of false report of terrorism and 2 counts of using a computer to commit a crime. All 4 counts are punishable by a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and/or a $20,000 fine. Mr. Challis works for Flex International, which is a Farmington Hills company. He's a field engineer, and he was working on a project for Nexteer for an electrical steering system of some kind. He became upset when he learned that a report existed that he believed set back the project some 8 weeks. He hadn't previously heard about this report. After learning of what he believed was this delay caused by his lack of knowing about this report, from his home in Fenton, he sent a threatening email to 34 of his co-workers, some of whom he'd never met. This is what the email said in pertinent part, and what led me to authorize these charges. Quoting, "I'm sorry to report I will be forced to kill one of you just to send a message to others. You pick and tell me who it is. You can vote on it and decide on Monday. Be warned, any of you that do not, and not is in caps, take the time to read this carefully through to the end will make the short list." He then in his email continues detailing problems that have developed with the project. And he concludes in the email, quoting again, "As for the first part, execution of one of you, whomever it turns out to be, don't worry, you won't feel it. See second attachment, one of my favorite team building tools." This is the attachment that he references. Now, some of the employees who received the email became frightened and called the Auburn Hills Police, where Nexteer is located. Auburn Hills contacted Farmington Hills Police, since that's where Flex is located. It was determined that the suspect lived in Fenton. Fenton police were called. The FBI in Oakland County contacted the Flint FBI office, and Special Agent Chuck Story and the Michigan State Police, with Post Commander First Lieutenant Todd Mapes, took over the investigation with the Genesee County Safe Streets Task Force. Mr. Challis was arraigned by Judge Gwynn earlier today on those charges. This is the statute that I have charged Mr. Challis under. You can see that it first says that it's illegal to threaten to commit an act of terrorism and communicate that threat to any other person. It also says it's illegal to knowingly make a false report of an act of terrorism and communicate the false report to any other person knowing the report is false. So just by way of example, if you write a message on a whiteboard that you are going to shoot up a school, that comes within this statute. If you post on Facebook that you're going to shoot somebody, that's covered by this statute. If you tweet or email that you have a hit list and you're going to kill certain people, or that people on the receiving end of the email should choose which one of them should be killed, that is covered by this statute. Now, I want to make this really clear, because last night I spoke to a bunch of students at Bentley High School and their parents and some teachers and administrators. And this is the message that is most important here, and adults apparently need to get this message too. Saying that you're just joking around is not a defense under this law. Look at paragraph 2. It is not a defense to a prosecution under this section that the defendant did not have the intent or capability of committing the act of terrorism. And you can see the harshness of the penalty that's attached to this statute. Questions?
How did you prove that it was a false report and that he really wasn't going to carry out any of these acts?
Well, the police went and interviewed him, and we've made the determination that it was highly unlikely he was going to carry out these acts, but we can't take a chance. I don't know that he wasn't going to carry out the act, and I'm not saying that he wasn't going to do it. I'm just saying he did this crime and he's been charged, and I can't take a chance, nor can the FBI or the Michigan State Police take a chance that somebody who makes a threat like this isn't going to go through with it. The worst thing that could happen is that we all get together in law enforcement and say, oh, you know, he's just joking, he's not going to do it, and then something happens. Not taking that chance anymore. In 2018, we cannot take that chance.
Is this a photo of items at his house? Did you find these items at his house?
We did not. He doesn't own that weapon.
So just a photo from the internet or something?
Apparently.
Did he have any other kind of criminal record?
No.
Any mental health involved here? Mental illness involved here? When you, I mean, have you probably haven't talked to him, but police, have they told you anything about?
There was, those types of questions were asked, and we do have some information about that, but I think it would be inappropriate for me to go into it publicly at this time.
Okay.
How often do you prosecute How often do you prosecute cases like this?
More and more lately. Since Parkland High School, I think we've charged 4 or 5 students with threatening to shoot up a school under this very statute.
Is it because there are just more people doing it, or is it because you're getting more tight on the law?
Both.
And where is he now? He's at home?
He has been released on a personal recognizance, $60,000 bond, and he's tethered to his home in Fenton.
Is he still employed? His employer, do you know?
You would have to ask his employer.
Did you guys find any guns or weapons?
Yes.
What did you find?
I think we found a rifle, and was there one other? 2 rifles.
And they were registered to him?
Yeah, they were. I think they were his.
They don't register.
Rifles aren't registered, but we don't have any reason to believe they were illegally obtained. I think the message has to be clear to both adults and youngsters that the Genesee County Prosecutor, the FBI office, the Michigan State Police in Genesee County, and hopefully all the local police departments are going to take every threat seriously. There's going to be a full and thorough investigation. The evidence is going to be brought to the county prosecutor, and we're going to determine if there's probable cause that a crime was committed, and if there is, we're going to charge as harshly as we can. And the penalty for this particular crime is up to 20 years in prison.